Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to be here. It was an interesting session. The banks, the gentleman said, the banks are no more banks, they are tech companies, right? I still remember the bank means, we used to think of huge buildings, cash, but I think this will be the last generation to think like that. The young generation would, when they think of a bank, they think of app, right? So huge transformation that we have seen, especially during the last 10 to 15 years. Now, how did this go about, and who all played? Of course, the whole industry has played a significant role. It's not just the banks, but they are enabled by a number of service providers. Cloud4C is one such company which does, in a small way, helps the banks go towards the app. People ask me, Sridhar, why Cloud4C name? It's so difficult to say, difficult to remember. Cloud, number 4, and a C. Interesting story. 10 years ago, we were working on a high availability product, high availability cloud product. And 2 weeks before the launch also, we didn't have a name for this company. The product is ready, launch is announced. Over 2,000 people were coming for the launch from all over the world. We were running a successful data center company called Cloud4C, we still, of course, as a part of our group. So we had a lot of customers who were excited to see the new product. And so there was no name. A week before also, we didn't have a name. Finally, we got frustrated. We said, okay, fine, we'll call it as a Cloud4C because it's a 4-copy cloud product. So that's how the name came about. But of course, a lot of transformation has happened after that within the company. I'll try to summarize in about 5-7 minutes. I'll walk you through some of the case studies, how we worked. Overall, we worked about more than 100 plus BFSI companies, over 50 plus banks globally that we worked with. To give you an idea, we are about a $300 million USD company with about 3,000 people. Roughly half of this comes from cloud and half from data center services. When we look at last decade, 12 years ago, I was fortunate to work with India's largest bank, SBI, and so on and so forth. Almost half of all the banks in India, top 25, not half, now more, about 15, 16 of them, work with us, whether it is data center, cloud, public cloud transformation, various products, right? What I've seen is that compared to any other industry, the banks or the insurance companies have a unique architecture, right? Your core banking systems are so monolithic, right? Very, very hard to put them on cloud or do anything with them. And either transformation, makes life a lot more difficult for all of you to, and then coupled with that, the compliances, security requirements. Security requirements, again, huge. Obviously, it's money. On top of it, every country has its own, highly complicated regulatory framework which these banks have to meet, or any financial institution has to meet. Almost all countries have, come up with different kind of requirement, making compliance a huge task for everyone. While there is a market pressure to become an app from a building, right? So that's where we came in, and we helped. We helped these banks. Santander is one of the biggest banks, I think the 5th largest bank in the world. They were setting up, Europe operations. We made their life simple by giving them a bank-in-a-box solution. They need a GDPR compliance. So we set up this cloud pod for them in London, turnkey, got their cost. At least they accept 40%, but we believe a lot more TCO coming down for them. Similarly, Mashreq is one of the biggest banks in the Middle East, and we have done a cloud transformation successfully. These are something like over 3,000 instances, and we have done it without disrupting any of the operations. Plus, they're operating in many countries. Compliance, huge issue. We automated their compliance and we manage it. Automated compliance solution for this bank. Similarly, Australian privacy laws or compliances are the toughest in the world, I would say. So we work with many of the Australian, government companies. Queensland Treasury is one of them, where we provide, fully compliant cloud migration plus, services. Or Indian regulator, SEBI, we work with, give them a disaster recovery on AWS. Or ABN AMRO, where we worked with Finacle to kind of make their life easy with a hybrid cloud solution. How do we do all of this? We have invested in about 52 pods around the world to meet in-country sovereign law compliant, data sovereign law compliant, plus regulatory, central banks or the insurance regulators compliant cloud pods. Plus, we also work with public cloud companies, all public cloud companies, and give the unique solutions that the banks need. To do this, we invested, of course, over 2,000 plus people. About 1,250 of them are public cloud experts on various, Azure being our biggest practice with about 650 people, to latest in the stable is Oracle. We've been positioned as a part of, Gartner Magic Quadrant for public cloud IT transformation in the visionary, in the last, headquartered in Singapore. Of course, we don't have many people here. We are new to this market. In fact, the customers took us to all over the world, to, in South America, to, Middle East, to, we are present in all countries of Southeast Asia, including Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. We have more people in the region than in Singapore. We work with all the, leading software companies and give bundled solutions to our customers. That's what makes it a bit unique. So you get a single point SLA, single company ownership, fully on a not just a cloud instance, but you get a SaaS kind of a solution in this monolithic, BFSI architecture. That's what made this, company grow by leaps and bounds. This is the fastest company that I've built. In about 8 years, we could go to 2,000 plus people, and without much of a, that's because of the uniqueness in the products and offerings that we got. For example, our bank-in-a-box. I mean, we call it a bank-in-a-box because some of them, actually a few of them, have taken a full, smaller banks, of course, have outsourced everything to us. Software, security, cloud infrastructure, backup infrastructure, disaster recovery, near site, far site DR, everything is outsourced. And their requirement of the people, the number of people required to run these banks in their IT department has come down by almost 95%. And of course, huge cost savings, plus there is a SLA backed by either Finacle and Cloud4C, or a FIS and Cloud4C, or an Intellect and Cloud4C. And as a result, not just the TCO comes down, their headache comes down, they can focus on building app, becoming the modern bank. That's what has happened. Especially all the new bank licenses which came in India, almost 80% of them are on this platform. I don't want to read it, but this is excited Infosys working with Cloud4C. In summary, yeah. So I know we got delayed, so I don't want to take much time. What is Cloud4C? Where you can depend on it is to, whenever you think of cloud, public cloud transformation, data sovereignty in any of the countries, or a compliance, or you want to do cut down your costs. I think that's where Cloud4C's competency lies. But most importantly, the business of the philosophy of total ownership is what makes this company a different, unique company from the traditional IT services companies. Yeah. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I can take. How much time do we have? 1 minute? Or, yeah. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Thank you.